it's me Carol. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today I have a super exciting video because I'm going to be reading like Olivia Rodrigo. Now, if you don't know who Olivia Rodrigo is, I think everyone does, but if you don't, Olivia Rodrigo is the 17-year-old girl who starred in the High School Musical, the series. I hate that name. Unnecessarily long, and for what? And her fame came to her when she released a song, Driver's License, that broke records and is now at #1 on billboards, and I decided to read like her. Now, Olivia Rodrigo has also been really talked about because she got herself in a little drama, in a little situation, and I got all of this information on TikTok. So is it reliable? No. Do I like to pretend it is? Yes, because the drama is spicy. So she's a Disney star and she has a co-host on the TV show called Joshua Bassett. He wrote a song saying that he would wait, and people thought it was about Olivia since she's underage and he's like 20 or something. They were like, he's probably telling her he's gonna wait until she turns 18 and then they'll get together, and then he started dating Sabrina Carpenter. Now, we don't know if they're dating or not. They were just seen together. Then Olivia came out with a song where she says, "You're probably with that blonde girl who always made me doubt." People connected the dots and it turned out to be Sabrina. And then Sabrina came back with a song called Skin. And she's like, "You're under my skin, boy." And everyone was like, "Ooh, girl, ooh, calm down. Like, that's a bit much." And that's all that's happening. So this is actually a collab that I'm doing with one of my inspirations here on booktube. I still can't believe she said yes. Anyway, that made my day. I'm collabing with uncarley here on YouTube. Carly is gonna be reading Sabrina's favorite books. Be sure after you watch this video to check her out. It'll be in the links down below. Whenever I feel jealous of a celebrity, I always think, but I don't have a pretty bookshelf like I do. I am a reader. Turns out Olivia Rodrigo is pretty smart, talented, and she also reads. So I'm gonna have a long talk with my therapist after this. I just know this is not gonna be good for my mental health, but I'm doing it for you guys. Sacrifice, you know how it goes? So yeah, I did some research and I found out some of her favorite books or books she has been currently reading, and I'm here to read them and see if she has good taste in literature. As she's like my age, she does read pretty common books like poetry and fantasy, so that's fun. For you to have an idea, if you're new to my channel, my preferred genre is thrillers, and she doesn't read any thrillers, which kind of hurts, to be honest. So how this is gonna work is I'm gonna show you the books, show you where she mentioned where she read this, and then read it and give back my thoughts. So the first book I'm going to be reading is a book that I saw on a interview she did. I'll link all the interviews down below if you want to check them out. They were asking her what she does in a day, and she said she was currently reading Helium. I'll put a picture here so you can see that I'm not lying. And I bought it, so this is the book she's reading and I'm excited to get to it. So this is a poetry collection, which I love poetry. I'm gonna read what it says in the blurbs. There's no description in the back. It just says, "Helium cracks open what it means to be human and vulnerable in America when liberty is pliable and disappearable thing. The poem should be read and reread like an antidote for now." I'm excited. It sounds like it's gonna be super quick to get through as well, so I might be able to finish this in one day. This is the first one we're gonna be reading. I finished reading Helium and oh my god, I ended up enjoying this so much more than I was expecting to. So this book is divided into 4 parts. I enjoyed the second one a lot because it talked about depression and feeling like you're sinking and you can't ask for help. I related to this one a lot, so that's why I enjoyed this one the most. Now, the first one talks about being in love and things like that. I did feel like some of them were a bit cliche on the first ones, to be honest. Like this poem, if I was a love poet. This one I thought was a bit cringe because he says like, I'm not much of a love poet, but if I was, I write about how I see your face in every cloud and your reflection in every window. Like that's a bit repetitive. I don't really enjoy reading about love poems. I am more into sad things. I just like to read about people suffering so I don't feel alone, you know? And then the third one, we talk about race and being Black in America and how that's just a daily struggle, how people see you only for your skin. And it was really powerful. This was great. It was mind-opening. I'm really glad for that. And the fourth part was about forgiveness. So just forgiving yourself and the people who have wronged you. I really enjoyed that one too. I did tab some of my favorite poems and I'm gonna just share them with you guys. Well, this one called To You. It talks about manipulation and putting the guilt on someone else. To you. He puts guilt in the air and waits for you to breathe. Tries to tailor the blame until it looks like it fits you. Turns the story into a gymnast and convinces it to flip. He rewinds the movie, activates the plot, takes out your patience, makes himself the narrator and the hero. He sketches you as the antagonist and suddenly his transgressions become deleted scenes. He blames you for his sadness. And this is how the wolf cries boy. That last sentence is so powerful. This is such an amazing poetry collection. The way he writes is so intriguing. I can definitely see Olivia Rodrigo reading this because it is a easy poetry collection to get through. It's quick. Even though it's talking about heavy things, it's lighthearted in a way. It doesn't give you all of this information in a way that your chest feels heavy and you want to die reading it. It's interesting to get through. I love this recommendation. I'm gonna give it 5 stars. Olivia Rodrigo, you did well with this one. I actually don't know her rating for this as she was just currently reading it, but hopefully she enjoyed it too. I do recommend you pick this up if you're getting to poetry or if you like poetry. I agree with the blurb. Everyone should read this. It's a very important read and I totally recommend it. So yes, the first book was a success. I am so glad I read this and I can't wait for the second one. So I'll see you soon. Today's day 2 of this video and I am not excited for today's book. Not excited at all because we're going to be reading The Marvels by Zelznick? Brian? Oh no, I'm dumb. Brian Zelznick. Hopefully I said that right. I don't want to be disrespectful. It's a fantasy book. I've read Akatar, if you want to check it out, I'll link it in the cards, and that was something. So, how did I find this book? I forgot to talk about that. I literally just saw this photo of her. I can't find where she posted it or if it was for an interview. She's holding it. So we're gonna assume it's one of her favorites, shall we? I haven't looked at the description yet. So let's read together and see what this book's about. So from what I understand, there are 2 standalone stories in this book. The first one in nearly 400 pages of pictures, which is interesting, and the second in prose. Okay, so this is editing me, and I just noticed I did such a horrible job describing this book. So I'm just gonna put a description of it from Amazon on the screen, and hopefully y'all will understand it better. Sorry. There are 672 pages. Did not see that coming. Not really interested in this story at all. Would have never picked this book up by myself. So this is the book, as you can see. It has a huge chunk of dark pages and the light ones. These are only photos, which is the first story. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Puppy. If this puppy dies, I swear to God. Y'all, the puppy died! I need to control so I can't cry. I saw that coming, but I still was hoping. What even was this? Hello there, it's me again. So when I read this book, I was really upset because it had some expectations going on to it, and the story followed a completely different plot line than what I was expecting, and it doesn't mean that it was bad, but I was just surprised and I didn't expect that. So I ended up going on a rant in this part of the video. I said I gave it 1 star, that this was horrible, and looking back at it now, I don't think it was horrible. I just don't think it was what I was expecting, but maybe it was even better than what I was expecting, you know? I do agree with some things I still said, like this. I was reading and I didn't feel connected to the characters. And this? It's like, let me tell you what the story's about. It follows this boy who decides to run away from his home. So he goes to London to live with his uncle, and there he finds these drawings and movies talking about his family, and he wants to find out what they're hiding and things like that. He does his research, and then in the end, it was all made up. What? It was all a lie. But the rest was just me rambling. It was like, nah, it didn't even make sense. So I decided to spare you and I cut that out. And I'm just here to say that in the end, I loved the artwork a lot of this book. It was really beautiful. I could see how much talent the author has and how much work he put into them. And that's why from an original 1 star, which is just insane, I was just so upset. I think the dog dying kind of like threw me off a bit. And I'm gonna raise it to 3 stars because looking back at it, looking back at the story is really powerful, emotional, and beautiful. It was just not what I was expecting back then, and I was just upset about it. I just wanted to apologize for doing that, and hopefully you guys understand what I think of it now. But yeah, let's go on to the video. This is the second book that I read. Now we only have 1 book left, which is actually her favorite book of all time. She said it in a Instagram post, and I can't wait to read it. I think I'm gonna love it. But yeah, pretty let down with this one. Kind of upset, but it happens. So I'll see y'all soon. So today I'm super excited because we're going to be reading Olivia Rodrigo's favorite book of all time. According to the queen herself, when she posted this on Instagram, she did a collab with Disney and they were all sharing their favorite books, and this was the one she picked. Her favorite book of all time is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. But I feel like this book might be really easy to get through. It doesn't sound super heavy or like dense, so that's fun. So this book follows Christopher John Francis Boone, and from what I understand, he's an autistic little kid, and I think it just follows his story. Christopher is investigating the death of a neighborhood dog, and it's one of the most captivating novels in recent years. I can't wait to read this. So now that I know this puppy died, I won't be as surprised as I was with the Marvels. That was traumatic. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I can't wait to get to it. So I finished reading The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and I loved it. So this story follows this little boy named Christopher, who in the beginning of this book finds a dead dog, and he wants to find out who killed this dog. And he goes all over his town asking people if they knew anything, because he is sure that he can solve this mystery because he loves to read mystery novels. It's a very touching story. I can't speak about representation of autism. I don't know if it's well represented or if it's just like the movie Music from Sia. I hope it's well represented because it's Olivia's favorite, and it would suck for it to be like Music. So I will do my research and I'll get back on you, but I really enjoyed the story. It was really easy to get through, and I can see myself rereading this. The main character, Christopher, has his own quirks. Reading from his mind was disturbing, but also extremely interesting. I really liked the writing style. It was a bit repetitive, but it made sense to be repetitive because we're reading through the book this little boy is writing. He's writing this novel of how he found out about the murder of the dog, and we're reading through that, and he takes breaks to describe his surroundings, and whenever he feels stressed, he does math equations to calm himself down. He's a very interesting character, and you could see him develop, and I really enjoyed that. So from the research I did, most people find it to be a convincing portrayal of autism. So in the end, I'm gonna rate this 5 stars. I'm really glad I picked this book up. Again, I don't think I would have picked it up if it weren't for this video. So I'm glad Olivia loves this and that I could give it a go. I understand why this is a story that a lot of people love and why it's a classic and a favorite of readers. I definitely recommend you pick this up if you're not triggered to certain things, so make sure to check the trigger warnings for this book. I think that's very important. But in the end, I really enjoyed this. Some parts were hard to get through, not because they weren't well done, it's just because they were extremely sad, but that's part of a novel like this, for you to see all the things he goes through and feel pity for him, but also want him to become stronger because of these things. So I really enjoyed this and I totally recommend it. Overall, I feel like Olivia has a very diverse reading taste. She reads a bit of everything, so we read poetry, we read fantasy, and we read fiction. It's really fun to see how diverse her reading is. I think she's very mature for her age. These books are dense and they deal with very sensitive topics, so for her to read it so young, I can definitely see her being strong, trying to understand and learn more about things she doesn't go through, but people do. I think that's very inspirational and we all should learn from that. We should all try to understand and get more informed and try to make the world more inclusive and a better place by understanding and having empathy for others. And to have empathy, we need to read, we need to do our research, we need to get more knowledge of everything, and I think that's what she's doing. So I definitely enjoyed that, and it's really surprising to see that her at 17 is reading such important books to the world. When I was 12, I read It. Now I don't know if that makes me a psychopath or if it makes me just smart. Probably a psychopath, but we won't talk about that. So yeah, this was the end of this experiment where I read all of the books Olivia Rodrigo has read, her favorite books, and some books she has talked about in interviews. I am so glad I decided to do this video with Carly. It forced me to go out of my comfort zone, which is thrillers, and I can't wait to do more videos like this where I read like certain actors or famous celebrities. Make sure to check out Carly's video again. I'll link it in the description box. She's reading like Sabrina Carpenter, and I'm just sure her video will be awesome because she's such a talented booktuber, and I'm just so grateful that she acknowledged me and she wanted to do this video with me. I still can't believe it. Thank you so much, Carly. If you made it this far into the video, comment down below which celebrity I should do next. I definitely want to do that. And make sure to check out my other videos of the series. I did read like 2 fictional characters, Jess from Gilmore Girls and Spencer from Pretty Little Liars. So I'll link those videos down below as well if you want to check them out. But yeah, you guys, this was the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If yes, give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below to be part of this wonderful family. I would love to have you here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!